I like forgot that it was 420 until like I was already home.
Oh yeah, no, same. Drew like texted our host group chat or like me, Rocky and Drew, and was like, "Happy 420 to the both of you," because he doesn't smoke and we do. And I was like, "Oh shit,
Mm.
it is 420." But
It
welcome
actually
everybody.
is.
Welcome back to I Want Entertainment. We are here with the idol holder himself from the Ametista tribe, John. Confess what's on your mind, and I'll probe you with some questions.
Yeah. So, I mean, this episode so far has been like, I think just like a little slower, for me because I think the first episode was obviously like a lot, right? Like not only going to tribal, but like falling ass backwards into two advantages is pretty cool. Yeah, but this one I feel like it's just been a lot more of like, I don't know, building a friendship with the people I'm around. Or at least trying to.
How has that friendship building gone? Who are these friendships? Who's
Yeah.
like the strongest friendship you have, weakest?
Yeah. So I think, I mean, it's in a group of five people. I think, you try to put your feelers out to everybody without making too many promises. So, um, this episode solidified the Flaming Hot Fritos alliance with Sam and Julia, which like I have pretty confident faith in, honestly. Like, is like obviously in the back of your head, you're like, oh, the two of them could be, PMing the other two and talking about whatever. Um, Obviously, like you think about things like that, but um, no, I feel good in that. I don't think that this is a stage in the game where you would like if it wasn't me, you wouldn't make too many promises. I haven't made too many promises. I would say that the two of them have probably also not made that many promises in the event that they go to tribal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, no, I feel like very good in that three. I mean, they're two people who I would talk to and probably get along with in my normal life, which is how I play these games, right? You just like talk to and go with people that you would get along with in your normal life, build trust there. I think that's a solid starting place. And then on top of that, like I've still been trying to like nurture my relationship with Jess and Sheed. Jess actually learned this episode that I played Codenames within her and stuff earlier in the pandemic, right? With JD and like, oops, forgot that that was her. Um, um, so like, just trying to like start it there. I think like last night on a whim before I went to bed, I just started like small talking with Sheed to see what's up. I think that's like a really good starting place with him because I don't know that he's strategizing as much with everybody, but it seems like he's willing to have at least some sort of dialogue with me.
If so Lights Out is happening right now. You don't know whether your tribe won or lost. How are you feeling about your tribe's performance in this past challenge?
Um, right after me and Jess competed, I felt like shit. Let me tell you, like, because right, so I take off the blindfold. I can't see without my glasses on, first of all, and then I have this blindfold on, so I'm like readjusting. I take off the blindfold, I put in my glasses, and some of those drawings were like donkey shit, god awful. Like, let me tell you, like, they were just bad. So I am surprised to have the score as high as we did unless literally all of the other tribes had like this amazing how to draw and convey the idea strategy with their partner. I doubt that there's like every other tribe has a perfect score or anything like that. Like that doesn't really seem feasible to me. I think worst case scenario is the worst performing tribe also gets like 8 out of 10. And then we're like shit out of luck again. Um, so I feel much better about this one than I did the last one. Like last one, kind of the last challenge, like all of the like thoughts and fears that I had, like Gigi not participating, the scores not being that great, like all came together. So like I'm feeling a lot better about this one, and I feel like that's the whole thing with this twist is like you don't know, but I feel like we're pretty soft.
All right. what was one thing leaving the first episode that like you wanted to accomplish, like a goal that you wanted to set with for the second episode to keep you on the trajectory that you're on?
I didn't want us to get like Matt saying long, whatever that, right? Like, I think I said that at Tribal, right? Like, when you lose the first one like that, and there's so many groups, like, that's the first thing that goes into your head. Like, we're going to be back here, Jesus Christ. Like, not. So I think for me, it's just like, being able to have this round just gel with people, right? Like, because I feel like the more and more we go to travel, the more I'm gonna have to turn it on. You know what I mean? And I think my biggest problem right now is that I am easily the most forward person in the tribe,
Mhm.
right? Like, definitely talking the most, like, easily the one that sticks out. So, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because people are gonna want to talk to you, and like, people will probably gravitate towards me, but at the same token, like, if they are all talking amongst themselves, it's very easy to be like, all right, this guy is gamer, and if they are going to game bot the game, then why would they not turn to me?
So how's the strategy session been leading up or during this lights out phase, leading up until whether y'all attend the second tribal council or not?
Yeah, kind of as I alluded to so far, I've been more or less just like small talking, socially talking with everybody. There hasn't been a lot of talk, at least on my end, of like, oh, like, we get eliminated or we lose. Like, this is who we're going to go for. There hasn't been a lot of that. Prior to this round, um, I know Sam had mentioned before that he talked a little bit with Jess. I don't know if it's to the same extent that I have. I don't know, if the same extends to Julia, like, if she's been talking with Jess, or like, because, she and Sheed just worked together on that challenge, like, what did they potentially also talk about besides doing the challenge, right? Like, there's lots of things. I think that, but by the time that the three of us come together and talk, I'll be able to have a lot of those questions answered. I know that that's going to be the nature of a conversation, is like, which person do we feel most confident in going forward with, amongst the three of us? And I'm kind of prepared to let the two of them drive that part of the conversation, because I think if I drive it, they like, that's where it gets turned to me like, all right, like, round one, John was pretty vocal. Round two, John was pretty vocal. What does that mean for me in the future rounds,
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, excuse you.
Yeah, excuse me. Red Bull.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that if I'm able to like have them drive, like, all right, which one of the two would we vote out? It opens up a better conversation. I don't know.
What would be your
I,
preference?
I to be honest, there's pros and cons on both sides, right? Because I think especially uncovering like the personal connection that Jess and I did have a little bit before this will help, right? Like, why would she not work with me in the future? That being said, I have had a really good start with Sheed, so it is such a toss up. Um, I feel like my instinct and preference would be to probably vote Sheed out, just because I'm not. It's tough because the two of them are kind of equally as engaged, right? Like, I feel like we're kind of bringing somebody forward who is kind of, regardless, a question mark on whether, to what extent they're going to like participate, really. I'm not necessarily worried about either of them like defecting per se. The only thing I have to think about is that, like, Sheed has whatever happened at the fortune teller, right? Like, he has whatever potential advantage that he has or doesn't. He hasn't been as forthcoming as I have been with it. which I mean, like, you don't necessarily have to, but those are things that I'm looking at. But that being said, like, I mean, he seems like a solid, nice guy. Like when we were at Tribal, just like seeing, he was like putting thought into his answers to the questions and stuff. Like he seems generally like kind of reserved, which I don't necessarily mind, but it does raise a question mark, I guess. Whereas
All
Jess, I
right.
have like a little bit less of a question mark.
Yeah. Okay. Rachel or Rocky, did y'all have any questions you want to shoot at my main man, John?
I'm all good. I kind of see a good understanding of your game, and I love that for you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying. Obviously, I have like one lens, but I think it's a pretty good lens of things. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong. I'll find out eventually.
Rox, I know you jumped on in recently, so you kind of missed some of it, but any questions at all? I'm gonna take that as a no. Okay.
I don't have anything because I jumped in late, so I don't even know what was asked.
Hmm.
I'm rooting for
All
you,
right.
John. I love
Oh my
you.
God,
so
thank you so much.
John, do you have anything that you want to get off your chest that maybe sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, I wasn't saying anything.
Okay. But yeah, anything that I didn't touch on that you've been meaning to just get out of the mind and spew it out?
I think. Oh, yeah, I guess like, I mean, I'm hoping that our tribe does win today. I think it would be pretty advantageous if the tribe that loses doesn't have any signs of having an active player. It might make sense for me to go visit that tribal just to get a sense of like what's going on in the other groups, right? Because I think,
are you considering that this round? If you win?
because I think like it's still very early, but none of the other tribes seem to have the issue of having an inactive person there, right? Like, plus, I already told my entire tribe about it. Plus, Emily knows because we were on call together, and she was like, "Oh, like, what did you get or whatever?" She said hers was blank. I don't particularly care. I think the only reason that I wouldn't go is honestly if her tribe loses. I wouldn't go because like she'll see somebody there, she doesn't get voted out. Like it'll be like, oh, that's like John on the other tribe. He told me that makes me stick out. But if the other two tribes lose, I'll probably use it and then use that as a talking point with my allies. Be like, hey, like here's what I have to look out for. Whatever. I think the more that I let people on my side be in the know with me, the better. Like I keep some cards close to my chest, but I let the other ones out.
I had a question based off of that. Oh, and anyway, if you have any questions about how your card works, when you should play it, just let us know when you're confessional.
Yeah, my assumption was like you guys will reveal like the results, and in those 20 minutes, I should probably let you guys know if I want to do it
exactly.
or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, in which case I probably need to like go through some Zoom settings. But
yeah, so we would link you to Zoom first to make sure that you're good on your end with like the hermit as your name quickly and off camera and stuff. Yeah, so we would make sure that you're situated before we let the tribe, the losing tribe in.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah. And then again, I'll likely use it unless whatever tribe Emily is on. I think she's Perla, right?
Perla, yep.
Yeah. So if they win or if they lose, rather, I probably won't use it, but otherwise I will probably use it. Yeah. Not that I even mind, I guess her. No, I mind. I don't want her to. She seems like a talker, like the fact that she was so willing to go on call.
You don't need people knowing so much about you before they meet you.
And I'm sure that she's already said something that, I'm sure she already has. So whatever. It's so, okay, honestly, at that too, I'll say a little something too. When we were there, she said that she did not receive a card. She said that it was like blank and she just received a message from you saying nothing. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like even if it was a blank card, you guys would make something. So I have my eyes on Miss Emily.
Peeping game, huh?
Yeah, I mean, listen, not all of us can be 100% honest all the time. Halo on my head.
John, it's been amazing watching you play so far. I hope to
Thank
continue
you.
having these confessionals with you for a long time to come.
Me too. I just want it to be long and fruitful. I don't
And
want like a placement that starts with a 2, 20, whatever. Not even second place. Come on.
Cringe, the
Yeah,
double digit
cringe.
2 placement.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay, let me stop
But
this.
I feel pretty good about my spot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
as you should. You have a fucking idol, so at the very